All right, hi, my name is TSForrest. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, a member of the Average Army Board. I've been actively streaming on Twitch off and on for the last couple years now. I have been uh, consistently active since about mid-December of last year.
One of my problems I still have. It's like they lose interest in you sometimes as they're coming after you, and it makes it. Oh crap! That one hurt.
Whoa, who was that?
Thank you for the save.
That was unbelievable.
That was awesome.
Got a headlight guy here.
Oh, and I'm freezing. All right, where are you? I'm coming. Wait. There we are.
I'm dead.
You're dead? All right, I'll see if I can get to you. Here, let's do this.
Didn't realize I was freezing.
Oh, I've already got it. So now let's light. Oh, it's raining.
Hurry, Forrest, hurry.
I am.
Hurry.
I'm hoping he'll run off a little bit before I
It's
get
up to
there.
my nose. You gotta get here. I'm dying.
Where are you?
Dead. I'm dying.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. No. Oh my God. I hit the wrong button and killed you.
Nice.
Oh, I
Thanks,
can't believe
Forrest.
I did that. I went to hit E for some reason. Where is the darn vulture? I don't see it. Oh, there he is. Oh, one shot. That was awesome. Someone clipped the crap out of that for me. That was an awesome one shot. And he wasn't anywhere close either. Very cool. In fact, I think I've got a button.
Okay, so first question is how long have you been streaming?
I started streaming around August of 2017, but I only streamed for about 3 months, and then I was having some trouble health wise and stopped streaming for 3 months. Then I came back for about 3.5 months, then was out for 6. And it wasn't until middle of December last year that I started streaming again, but that was after the community and a bunch of streamers and and supporters within the community got together and raised money to help provide some equipment, including an adjustable bed, a lot of arms and mounts, and other things that make it much easier for me to stay comfortable and relaxed while streaming. And since then, I might have a short week here or there, but for the most part, I've been streaming solidly since last December, and it's been a really good feeling to be able to uh, keep it going and not feel like it could end any week. I feel like this is something that I can continue doing, and it's an amazing feeling knowing that it was the community that helped make all of that possible, that people cared enough uh, to help me get back into doing something that I really enjoy. And Twitch has become my connection to the world, not just Twitch and the people in the community in the parts of Twitch that I'm around are absolutely amazing. And being uh, stuck in the same room almost 24/7, my connection to the world outside my wife and kids is has been the people in this community. Something that I look forward to being a part of every day. I enjoy it thoroughly. It's very fulfilling, and I've never ceased to be amazed by how wonderful this community can be. And there's a little saying I say, and it's always true. And I can't think of a better way to state it. And that I could never. Not only is this community better than I ever thought it would be. It is so much better than I ever hoped. And every time I think the people that are part of this community could not be any more awesome, I'm proven wrong every single time.
All right, that actually is a good thing to lead into the next question. Nice. segue there.
You could probably cut out like 80% of it though.
Actually, no, I'm probably gonna leave that. Actually, that was a good link. Okay, so the next question is actually it's kind of tied to the things you said in the last one. What's your actual favorite thing about streaming altogether?
My favorite thing about streaming altogether is probably just the community, the relationships you develop with people online, the camaraderie, the friendship, the fun, the humor, the laughing, just having a place to go to where you don't have to worry about real life stuff just for a little while and you can just have fun. You don't have to bring any stress or any confrontation or any obligation. It's just to hang out with some people you enjoy being around, do fun things, and see how fun you can make it for other people that they might want to join in too.
Oh yeah, totally. I feel that on that. That's you know I'm probably gonna get that answer a lot, but let's see. Okay, so if that's your favorite thing about streaming, what's your absolute least favorite thing about streaming?
My least favorite thing about streaming, that's tough. I don't have a whole lot of negatives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think my least favorite thing about streaming would have to be when there are those certain individuals that come into a community and they seem to want to detract away from people being able to enjoy themselves or have
Mm-hmm.
a good time, and they're spreading negativity either through ridicule or through insult or through abject selfishness or something along those lines. The same things you would have to deal with in normal life, with where one person comes into a group or an area and ruins things for everybody else. Those are the things that I don't like, and I think the community kind of self heals from that, self adjusts. It kind of self governs,
Mm-hmm.
if you will. So I think it's one of those things. If you learn how to tolerate, not learn not to let it bother you, and to stick around the people that you know treat people right and that are good people, and then just do your best to keep away from the people that you know can be toxic or be a detriment to people being able to enjoy themselves and their relationships and their activities on Twitch.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can agree with that. Just learning to deal with the trolls and not letting
Yes.
it affect you or your community, and the fact that your community can actually bounce back from a troll or whatever, or just someone who's just got a negative attitude and things like that. That's actually a really good thing about it. But yeah, I could agree that that's probably my least favorite as well. Okay, so actually, what was the thing that actually made you decide, hey, I want to actually try streaming?
Whew. Well, for several years, I didn't think I could get into gaming. I have trouble dealing with discomfort
Mm-hmm.
that increases as my heart rate goes up, as my blood pressure goes up, and even there was a times even certain movies,
Mm-hmm.
I could watch them, but it would aggravate things. It would bother me, and I was given an Xbox for Christmas years ago, and my daughter really wanted to play, and I started trying to play for short periods, and I got better at keeping myself calm and dealing with the bits of discomfort so I could enjoy playing games with my daughter. And that got me back into gaming, and that got me interested more about watching videos about gaming. I found some people playing 7 Days to Die on YouTube, started watching their content. One of those was a Midnight Designer, and when he started streaming on Twitch, I kind of came over and started watching his streams on Twitch, and I was aware of Twitch. I had been on Twitch before. I watched it maybe a handful of times, and I just don't think I got it then on exactly what it is, what people did there, and how everything worked. And coming across and watching Midnight Designer get started on Twitch, and bringing his YouTube community over to Twitch as well, and seeing this wonderful group of people that were kind and supportive and fun. It inspired me to want to make that jump from the console world to the PC world, not just so I could play PC games, but so I could be a part of this community that played PC games. 7 Days to Die was a big part of that, and I had already been playing that on console, and that was just kind of my lead into this community on Twitch. That's what brought me in, and it eventually expanded into a lot of other things. And that's pretty much how I ended up on Twitch to begin with. And it was seeing the people struggle and start small. And then the other streamers outside of Midnight Designer, that he would raid someone and I'd watch them and get to know them. And some people were just getting started, and seeing them go through this. And it looked like it was really fun and rewarding. It was something I didn't know if I could do, but I wanted to see if I could try. And it was uh, just going through that, trying to figure out what I can and cannot do, what I enjoy doing, what I didn't enjoy doing, that kind of led me to where I am now. And I am so thankful that I decided to give it a try. And if it wasn't for a friend that helped initially get the setup that I started with initially, I
Mhm.
probably wouldn't have even gotten started. And it was really lacking when compared to what I've got now, as far as me being able to could do things for longer periods of time, staying relaxed, staying calm, and still being able to have fun, have those exciting moments, those jumps, and still be able to continue, but be able to relax enough to recover and keep going. That was something I didn't realize how well I could do it until I went through it, and I had to learn how to do it kind of as I went.
Yeah. So actually, you brought up a point there. Like, one of the beautiful things about streaming to me, and I think you probably agree with this, is you said you watched the smaller streamers a little bit and you saw them starting to grow a little bit. Isn't that a beautiful feeling when you see a smaller streamer that's actually coming into their own and starting to grow?
Yes, when you see someone that starts and they're trying to figure it out, not just the technical side of things, but trying to figure out how they can be a host for their channel, growing a community, seeing it start from nothing, where they've got you're lucky to have one person watching their channel, and for that to grow to an active, thriving community was just really fun and exciting to be a part of from a community member's
Mm-hmm.
perspective. And I just thought it would seem like it would be really cool to be able to be a host for people, to kind of organize people together in a small subset of the community, to have
Mm-hmm.
some fun together and develop relationships, even if it's just gaming and having fun, but people get to know each other and supporting each other. And it was just really amazing to watch. And it became something that I really thought I wanted to be a part of, and I wanted to see if I could do it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did actually, because I've made quite a good friend out of you, to be honest.
I feel the same.
Okay, so here's the question that I feel everyone should be asked on Twitch. What's the biggest moment of your streaming career so far?
Ooh, the biggest moment of my streaming career. And it's really tough because it's not like any one moment that stands out. And I think the biggest moment is like a culmination of a lot of events that
Mm-hmm.
led to me uh, uh, being able to come into a stream every day and have a dozen or two people sitting there waiting for me to get started, ready to have fun. And to me, that's just absolutely amazing that people would want to come hang out with me. They're waiting around for us to get started because this is something they look forward to each day. This
Mm-hmm.
is something that is something that is part of what they want to do to get away from any negativity or stress. This is where they want to come and hang out and just have fun. And the way they're so positive and support each other is so inspiring. And I think that attracts other like minded people in.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I've noticed about this community is that we don't have those. level of toxicity and negativity that I have seen in other communities. And I think
Hmm.
all communities, anytime you get a large enough group of people together, you're going to have some people that are going to cause problems and be negative. But the amount of that has been so small compared to what I would have expected, being an internet-based community.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
one as large as we've been in the past. Like we've had quite a few people that have been a member at any given time. I think it was what 75 or 6 or something like that was our upper limit.
yeah, at one point we were up there in the mid 70s. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. So basically, what you're getting at is I'd say from what I gathered from what you were saying is your biggest moment streaming would have been that moment that you realized, like when you started your stream up and you had 5, 10 people sitting there waiting on you, that moment that you realized that everything you had done is actually affecting other people in a positive light, that they want to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And my goal, and sometimes it's hard to put into words, but it's to create a place where people can come and hang out, and the only concern is to do whatever they would enjoy the most in the way they enjoy the most. Whether if they just want to lurk and watch
Mm-hmm.
everybody else do stuff, that's fine. If they want to get involved in chat and be social, they can. If they want to jump in and play games with us, they can. And that might change from day to day, and to have a place where there's no obligations, there's no
Mm-hmm.
expectation, there's people don't have to give money or do something in order to be able to do something. They can just do whatever they would enjoy that day. And to me, trying to that's what I envision for my channel, at least. And I see huge parts of that in other people's channels,
Mm-hmm.
where people aren't pressured into doing things other than what they enjoy doing. And I just think the way Twitch works in general, this community has evolved in the people in it, that there's not a whole lot of pressure to do things that you're not wanting to do. People can participate in whatever way they enjoy, and I really like that.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that 100%. Actually, that's a good lead in because you were just talking about kind of what you want to do. So, what's the ultimate goal for the TS4 stream? What do you want to accomplish with your streaming career the most?
Well, one, I want to improve myself in many ways. One, I want to be a better organizer, a better host.
Hmm.
I want to be an entertainer. I want to be fun. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want to do things that people don't see everywhere else. I would like people to come into the channel, and not everything has to be brand new or something they've never seen before, but I would enjoy people coming in and say, you know what, I've never seen that before. I didn't know you could do it like that. I didn't know uh, that was even possible to do that. I think that's really cool. I think that would be fun.
I think
And
you've got that though. Honestly, like I've learned a lot of things just by hopping into the stream. It's like, hey, that's an interesting idea. Let me see what I can do with that. Like you've
right.
been an inspiration to myself, I know, and I'm guessing many other streamers just based off of my personal experience with you. But you've been an inspiration on what is possible through the automation and stuff like that. Uh, you've given me so many ideas. It's not even funny. In fact, you gave me
Now I'm
the
blushing.
post-it note idea.
Well, from the beard bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't come up with that idea, and that's another part of this community, the community of viewers and streamers, and that they tend to want to share things that they've learned. This isn't people they discover some secret that they're going to hold on to, and they don't want to share with anyone because it's going to be theirs, and they're going to be the only
Mm-hmm.
one to benefit from. Because if they share it, then everyone having it won't be special anymore. This spirit of cooperation and sharing and helping lift each other up
Mm-hmm.
is it's been an absolutely amazing experience.
Yeah,
I love it.
and that's like one thing actually on the same note, the reason I did, instead of doing the beard bobbles, the reason I actually did the post-it notes is because I felt I wanted to make it my own. And so whenever anyone asks anything
Right.
about like anything that I have on my stream, and you're this pretty much the same way, it's like, yeah, feel free to use anything, just try to make it your own if you can, because it's going to do you better if you make it your own instead of just take it from someone else's stream. And that's something I think this community's actually figured out for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree, and it's all about having fun. I think, uh, there are so many people doing things on Twitch, so much of what a lot of people do. You can go find someone else doing something kind of similar, pretty much anywhere or anytime. It's hard to find any one thing you're doing, and where someone that hasn't been around everywhere can't say, you know what, I saw something similar that was done in this channel over here, and
Yeah.
people can get a little tied up on, oh, you weren't the one who originally came up with that idea. And I was like, well, if I watch, a few hundred streamers and I start learning the things that I enjoy and don't enjoy, if I'm going to become a host and a streamer myself, do I not want to try to incorporate? Now, I don't want to copy people. I don't want to be a carbon copy of someone else, but I want to take the ideas and the things that I enjoyed as a viewer and as a community member and
Hmm.
bring them in and try to uh, make it something new, even though if it's based off the same idea. So
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Like, there's last I checked, according to, I think it was maybe Sully Gnome or something like that. Uh, there are over 4.5 million streamers on Twitch alone right now.
that's
Everything's,
intense.
yeah, everything's been done to a point. So, like, you're not going to come up with something completely unique. But I agree with you. Like, taking bits and pieces from one stream that you like, it's like, oh, this is a good idea, but I'm not going to straight up rip off what they did. I'm going to use the idea and kind of just meld it a little bit to me. I mean, it's really who we are, because who we are, think about it, is nothing but just a collection of our experiences. That's who makes us who we are.
Right, our
So,
experiences, our ideas, our
right. So
desires, and all
experiences
that
on
stuff.
other streams and ideas you get from other streams, that really is uniquely your brand. I can agree with you on that. Now, if you could give advice to a brand new person who's just starting streaming now, what would the best advice that you can possibly think of as an established streamer? Not necessarily a big streamer, just an established streamer. Like,
No,
what would be
definitely
the
not a big
advice you'd give
streamer.
them?
Um, One, to stick with it, to try to get into some kind of routine if you can. Some people's lives allow it, some don't. But it helps, I think, when people have an idea of when to find you and where. And I think that applies to so many things in life if you're trying to do it with a group of people. So even if you post a schedule and it's just a post that says, I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I'm probably going to be streaming in the evenings, maybe some on the weekends. Get something loosely established and you can fine tune things later. Do
Mm-hmm.
things that you enjoy. Listen to advice from people whom you respect or in a place that you would like to be. And be wary of trying to adhere to advice that you're getting from people who are not. Uh, Doing what you're wanting to do or where you want to eventually be because there's so much information out there and sometimes it can almost be a religion where uh, what is right or the way to do things is different based on who you talk to,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of have to find the people that are you know, in the position you want to get to. Listen to them a little bit, and even then nobody has all the answers.
No, I don't.
uh, I was just thinking the same thing,
I had to.
but yeah, I was about to say something too. It's irresistible. But no one person has all the answers. So it's a lot of information to take in. Listen to it, but then you have to make decisions on what is right for you and what you see yourself benefiting from, whether or not you want to just be a small streamer and you just want to stream while playing games with friends, or do you want to grow a community and grow it and see how many people can come in and be a part of something fun and exciting and see how far you can take it. I think people can have so many different goals and ideas of what it can be. And so what people do should factor in what they're wanting to achieve from it. Uh,
Yeah, I
and then
totally agree
listen to
with
the
you on
people
that.
that have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that I try to tell people all the time is don't necessarily take any advice, like even if it's someone that is the type of streamer you want to be or whatever. Think about the fact that their advice is going to be specific to their experience. You're going to have a different experience than other people, so you need to use your head about what advice is good for you and what's not good for you, but you need to be honest with yourself about whether it's
Right.
true or not.
Right. And what people do and why they do it and how they do it differs on so many things. And sometimes the smallest detail could have a tremendous impact on how someone should approach doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is specific to the individual. So when you get advice from people, realize that they're not you. And especially when I'm asked to give advice on things, I'm trying to be very conscientious. Of letting them know that if I were can imagine myself being in the situation they're describing to me, what I would probably want to do if I could imagine similar goals that they might be describing, and
Mm-hmm.
try to put it as from the viewpoint that this is what I would do if I felt like I was in a similar situation, as opposed to this is the way it needs to be done. This is the only way to succeed, and I really get turned off when I hear advice coming from someone where it sounds like there's only one way to do it. And if you don't do this, you're not going to be successful. Or if you want to be successful, you have to do these five things in this
Mm-hmm.
order, in this particular way.
Well, and another
I
thing to think too is, since you're using the word successful here, everybody's idea of what successful is, I think, is different. Like some people, they just want
Right,
to come in and they want to play video games and enjoy the conversation. Some people, they want to be the biggest streamer ever. Some people, it's the wrong idea to come in thinking about the money to start with, but let's face it, people do. Like they think
right,
streaming's some big money thing. Well, no, it's not. But yeah, I think a lot of times thinking about what you call success to is probably a good idea, to pay attention to your goals individually
right.
as what you think is success, and then take the advice that seems like it's closer to getting you to that mark.
Right. And personally, when I try to improve or set my goals, I try to imagine someone just like me, only better. And then I try to do what they would do.
Yeah. Well, no one does you better than you. Okay, so I think I already know the answer to this one, and most of your viewers do. But for anybody who does not know you, what is your favorite game to stream?
My favorite game to stream. That's tough. I play more 7 Days to Die than anything else. I enjoy it thoroughly. I've enjoyed it for years. I don't see myself stopping streaming it, but part of what I really enjoy is getting to experience new games and try
Mm-hmm.
new stuff, and hopefully, uh, find one day that 7 Days to Die or the other games I've been playing are not my favorite games. There's some new game I wasn't aware of or didn't consider that becomes my new favorite game. And I like that option of being able to always evolve a little bit, try different things. And I think because I've got very eclectic tastes,
Mm-hmm.
that I can enjoy doing a wide variety of things, playing a wide variety of games. So even if I try something new and it's not going to replace 7 Days to Die or another game as my absolute favorite, I can still have a great time. I can hang out with awesome people and have a lot of fun and laugh and get excited and get jump scares and
Mm-hmm.
go through that whole range of emotion and excitement that you can only get from hanging around with a group of people that you're comfortable with, that you enjoy being around, and feel comfortable enough to be yourself and just have fun. And,
Yeah, I
and
totally feel that. You're always looking for that next game. It's not
yes,
necessarily because you're looking for numbers or anything. You're looking for that game that you just enjoy and makes you love what you do even more.
right. If I can find a game that makes me go, wow, oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is it. And it makes me want to
Mm-hmm.
keep coming back and playing it every day. Just the thought of finding something like that that is so enjoyable. Uh, it's fun knowing that's going to happen. It's not something that might happen, or if I'm
Yeah.
lucky one day. We're gonna find new games. No one game is permanent and sticks around. People evolve. What they're playing this year is often different from what they're playing last year. So things change, and you get to improve through that, learn, how to do things better, and and get more comfortable. And I think as people's comfort level, especially if their self-confidence in doing certain things gets better, they're more likely to be themselves
Hmm.
and just have fun. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this evolves as it keeps going forward. Not just for myself, but other people, seeing them
Hmm.
grow, seeing the things that I think they're doing right, and think, I wonder if I could take what they're doing right, and maybe that could be something that could help me figure out what's best for me and what's best for this channel that I'm trying to go. Can I learn something from them, or can I learn how not to do something from them?
Yeah.
And and just like almost everything we do in life, as long as you're learning and striving to improve and making progress, you're going in the right direction, and things are going to keep getting better.
Yeah, and I think the key to well, one of the many keys to being successful at something is actually knowing how to learn from other people's mistakes as well. I'm glad you said that. Like
Yes.
you actually learning that didn't work, trying to figure out why it didn't work and then apply that to yourself. I think that helps a lot to, like, in anything in life, to be honest. Like if you can learn from other people's mistakes and say, "No, don't stick my hand in the socket because that looked like it hurt." You know?
Exactly. And I think it's also helpful, at least for me, to realize that there's so much I don't know. It's like the more I learn and the
Mhm.
more I understand, the more I realize how little I know. And but at the same time that I can be learning from other people, I need to remember that not there's nobody else that knows it all, that understands
Mhm.
it all. So it's just to listen to the people that you respect, see things that you see that look like they're fun or exciting or looks like something that you would like to be able to do one day, to say, I want to be good enough so I could do something along those lines. And it gives you some goal to set for yourself, some way to improve yourself. Uh, but at the same time, as you're trying to improve, you're making things more fun for other people, and more people are enjoying it. And I think if you do it right, it continues to grow. And people have real lives. They come and go. Some people have time to spend on their PC and watch Twitch, and some people have real life situations happen and they can no longer spend that time. So you have some people that show up, hang out, and pass on or pass through, and then you have other people that stay with you, other people that leave and come back. And if you're doing something that's fun and honest
Mhm.
and true, it's not fake, it's real. I think you're going to attract more people than you lose. And if that's, I think that's all it takes to grow a channel. Now you could do it at different speeds, but as long as you're doing things that make people want to come back and have fun, you're going to succeed over time.
Yeah, and I think that's the root of it. I think a lot of the advice given out, like on YouTube recently, from some of the bigger streamers that grew a different way than we can grow now. I think actually that has a lot to do with it. Like I think they just didn't say things as precisely as you just said there, but I agree with that. Like the root of it is to have fun. Don't get me wrong, it's always a good idea. If you want to grow, you're going to have to work for that. But the root of it is to always do things that you're enjoying doing, because it shows through. Like people honestly want to stick around more if you're enjoying yourself.
Right. And there's a business side to it. And it's not that you have to treat it seriously and only care about numbers and only care about money
Hmm.
and things like that. But you have to consider things. You have to kind of manage what your channel does. If you've got a certain amount of money coming in, you should probably not spend more than that. You should figure out how to sustain and how to do things with that add more for the community, that allow you to
Hmm.
grow and continue to expand what you're doing, improve upon what you're doing.
Yeah.
So there's a business aspect in that, is that you're trying to take what resources you have available and figure out how to keep improving. Uh, and I think it's important for people to realize that part of it too. But it
Hmm.
needs to be done in a way that makes you happy. Because if you're not happy, I've seen so many people burn out from streaming. Some
Yeah.
people that were doing very well and they get tired of it, and they end up drifting away. And sometimes they come back and get started again. Sometimes they leave again. Sometimes it happens for health reasons.
Hmm.
But when people are leaving because they've lost that desire, that passion for what they're doing, it's kind of sad. And so I think if people are true to what they enjoy, and at the same time can kind of keep things in mind, like the business side of it, not doing stupid things business wise, as far as
Mhm.
and a lot of it's just common sense stuff, like you would do if you want something to stick around and if you want something to grow. But if you can do it and have fun, and I think it's much easier for it to stay fresh for you if you're doing it because you feel like you have to in order to get to that next milestone of viewer numbers. I've got to keep streaming every day, and if I don't do it, I'm not going to meet this. If you're doing it for reasons other than you're enjoying it, you love seeing it grow, you
Mhm.
love seeing it improve and evolve, then I think it might not end well. Now, maybe someone's view can change along the way and they can
Mhm.
keep it from happening. But I think if anytime someone keeps that point of view where they've got to do something or they're going to lose something, I think that's only uh, the path towards burnout and
Yeah.
other ends to the adventure.
Yeah, well, that's when you start second guessing yourself and like, is this really what I want to do? Like, if you're focused in on the money situation or whatever, like I get that real life happens, and sometimes you need to focus on things like that. You may need to supplement some income somewhere or whatever in order to continue streaming. I get that, but if you start focusing on things like that, usually it leads to a downward spiral that'll probably, if not completely end your career as a streamer, but possibly contribute to that.
Right.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Okay, so actually away from Twitch, let's get to know a little bit about the actual TSForrest. What's your favorite off-stream game slash activity? Like, what do you like to do when you're not streaming?
Let's see. Well, should I go pre-life or current life, previous life? And I
Uh,
used to be
we'll get a little more insight if you tell us both.
okay. Right now, again, my accident and injuries resulting from it have kind of left me stuck in the same room. So I live for my family. I
Mm-hmm.
look forward to being able to hang out with the community and play games and have fun and and to learn new things and to grow. And I love trying to improve my audio video editing skills and do fun little things. If I can make a clip and people laugh at it, I get a thrill from that. If people
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, if I give someone something, a video, and they watch it a dozen times because then they want to go show their friends. I enjoy that, so that's something that I do for fun. Previous to my current health and injury situation, I was a lot more. Uh, I would say I subscribe to the work hard, play hard kind of philosophy where I had a worked very hard at my career,
Mm-hmm.
but then and I saw that as a means to being able to do the other things that I enjoyed in life, and that was to hang out with friends and do fun, exciting, interesting stuff. I was in the process of trying to get my skydiving A certification. I was starting my training to get my private pilot's license.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good friend that was a pilot instructor, and my brother was a private pilot as well. One of my best friends was uh, one of those people that skydive not just a dozen times or 100 times or a few hundred, like 1,500 times, and
Mm-hmm.
had done all the acrobatic stuff. And I used to love the wind tunnels, and uh, I used to love to go camping with friends and stake out an island on a lake on the 4th of July, that kind of stuff. So my life now is a lot different from the things
Mm-hmm.
that I enjoy. But since then, I've also I have a family that I care about tremendously. That is what keeps me going. If everything were to stop and I couldn't enjoy anything else, my family would be enough for me to keep going. So everything else, what I'm doing on Twitch is something I'm doing because I enjoy it, not because I have to do it, but I'm sure as heck a lot happier.
Mm-hmm.
Something to look forward to and get excited about every day, aside from what's going on with my wife and kids, and to have something that's kind of for me to do that I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
is very valuable. And then it's so much more than that. As we've been talking about it, it's not more than just doing something fun. It's very rewarding. The people you meet and relationships you build are far above and beyond what I ever realized people would develop online. People have the IRL, they're in real life friends, and then they have their online friends. And the relationships I've developed with a lot of people on Twitch are so far beyond what I ever considered online friends to be in the
Mm-hmm.
past. It's so much closer because there are people that I talk to on a regular basis, and much more often than any of my real world friends. And so, how close so many of these people have become in this community is. It, it's amazing to see. I just did
Yeah.
not expect an online community to be as closely knit and so supportive of each other as it is.
I can agree with you on that. Like, I've been to multiple conventions. I've been to PAX South and met members of Average Army. I've been to TwitchCon and met members of Average Army. And what was the interesting part about the situation was, especially when it comes to other streamers that I met, was when you had that first conversation where it's awkward with most people that you've never seen before. When you have that first conversation with them, you feel like you already have known them for years. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that you've seen each other's faces and things like that, and
Right.
you've had conversations. Like, if I was to meet you tomorrow, I would feel like I've known you for forever and actually had been hanging out with you. There would be no awkwardness to it to start with.
Right. It's not like someone I've only known through some message forum
Mm-hmm.
or some chat room. These are people that you get to know, and you get to learn details about their lives and what they enjoy and what makes them tick
Mm-hmm.
that you don't get in other online experiences that I have. So it's a different category of it's the closest thing I've come to for a remote connection between people in two completely far off places,
Mm-hmm.
but for it to have the effect as if they're good friends in the same town, meeting up, hanging out, and doing things together. It really feels that way.
Yeah, it feels like you've actually spent real quality time with the people in the past, like
Yes.
just like you would your childhood friends or something. Speaking of which, next question is, what did you always want to be when you were growing up?
Oh. Well, aside from a professional football player when I was younger, um, let's see, astronaut was definitely on the list.
What boy
Uh,
doesn't want to be an astronaut?
yes, definitely. A pilot.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I was still trying to get into for a very long time.
Kudos on that, by the way. You were getting pretty close.
Yes, and let's see. Oh, I just had it a second ago. Now I'm drawing a blank, and I hate when I do that. Um, I always liked making things and designing things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of switched between different things as I was growing up and maturing, from electrical engineering to to microcircuit design, and I eventually got in uh, to taking a Microsoft certification course so I could get a better part-time job while I was putting myself through college, and I got into the IT field,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that I love automating stuff. I love trying to find solutions for problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that kind of tickled a lot of those itches, right? And that there would be some very big complex problem. The bigger the better. It's like the more people involved. If there's 100,000 people that you need some solution design so they can do something more effectively, and you've got to design something that performs well, that can be down for 4 minutes a year. Uh, and it's like the more complex it was and how difficult the solution, the more rewarding it was if
Mm-hmm.
you could work through that in a methodical way and come up and design a solution and then go through and sometimes maybe get involved in the engineering of it and actually carry out the execution of it. That stuff I really enjoyed doing. So I think if I was going to sum up what I wanted to do the most, and that was to solve problems, and that could have been a wide variety of them, and that's how what I got into.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so many careers and so many activities and important ventures, that's what they get boiled down to. It's it being encountered with a situation or a problem, and you've got to figure out how to overcome it or solve it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that kind of stuff thoroughly. And I think I get a lot of that from streaming, trying to figure out how to do stuff that I don't know how to
Mhm.
do or haven't seen someone else do and trying to figure
That's
out
a
a way to
daily
do it.
thing too. It's constantly, well, I've got a problem. This isn't working right. How do I fix it?
Right.
Yeah, so you
I,
guys heard it here first, guys. If y'all have any problems, Forrest love the problem solve. All
yes, I do.
right. So yeah, that being said, do you think well, actually I can probably answer this from what you just said. Off script a little bit here. Do you think little TS Forrest would be proud of big TS Forrest given everything?
Yeah. I think so. I think so. Given everything that's happened, yeah, I'm proud of where I'm at. It's not where I expected to be. I
Mhm.
expected to be doing a lot of other different things. Um, but I think I would be proud of the way I've handled adversity and taking challenges that uh, if I were to know I was going to face them, I'd be afraid whether or not I'd be able to handle them or deal with them. And to
Mhm.
know that I've been able to get through that onto the other side of it, or still going through it, but managing to live a life, be around people I love and care about, have fun, and do fun and exciting things, and to be able to do that in spite of some of the roadblocks and challenges I've been faced with. Yeah, I think I would be proud. The question is whether Little Forest would fully understand
Yeah, that's the real
all
question.
of that stuff. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Like, honestly, I'm proud of the journey that I've seen you take over the last 2 years. You've actually, you've definitely been one to overcome the adversity. And if it was little me seeing myself do that in the future, I'd be proud of myself. So I think the answer to that should be yes.
Right, and I think I would be proud, but at the same time, I've seen so many people face so many struggles. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's almost a trap for me to think that I've had it worse than somebody else or more difficult. I think everybody has their own struggles and challenges, and to try to say one
Yeah.
person's challenges are more difficult than someone else's is uh, I wouldn't say deceptive or it's lying to yourself. It's that it's not it's just not true. It's something it's very easy to for I think for people to get caught up in their own struggles
Mm-hmm.
and to think how difficult it would be or to see someone else's struggle and say, "Oh, that must be absolutely horrible." And I think it's good to empathize and realize
Mm-hmm.
someone's going through a tough struggle, but I think we all face our own particular set of challenges and struggles. And anytime someone is getting through those struggles and they're able to be happy, it's a success.
Yeah.
It's something good. It's something to be applauded. Um, but I just don't want someone to look at me and think that I've done something that isn't what anyone else would try to do in the same
Mm-hmm.
situation that would be able to do. I don't think that I've done anything that everyone else isn't already doing right now. Everyone's facing their own struggles and their own complications. And to me, it's easy for me to see someone who's come back from serving their country, missing their
Mm-hmm.
legs, and think, you know what? I've got things easy. I get to wake up and see my wife and kids every day. I get to hang out with awesome people and play games and have fun. But at the same time, it's so not only do I think it's a trap to for us to think our struggles are more difficult than other people's, but to
Mm-hmm.
see other people's. I think we should empathize and recognize that it's a challenge and it's a struggle, but we need to get away from this competition type thing or one upping. Either way, either
Totally
you're
agreed.
seeing someone else as is having a more difficult time or being more successful or more capable of doing things. I think we're all much more on an even playing field than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, I think it's really a matter of perspective. I mean, one person's bad day could be another person's, oh, that's just a normal day. But the
Yeah.
way you deal with it individually is based off of your perspective. So like it could be the same amount of struggle, whether it be considered by most people to not be that big of a struggle versus uh it's all the experiences you've had. If you don't have anything to counteract it or whatever. Like if you've lived a mostly happy life and then something bad happens, it's the most devastating thing you could ever think of.
Exactly. The most devastating thing to happen in anyone's life is the most devastating thing to happen in anybody's life.
Yeah,
Yes.
I totally agree with that. All right. So, are there any questions that you want to ask me personally, or just any of the viewers out there for the comments?
Um, I don't know. What do you like to see in a streamer? If you're going in and looking for some place you can go hang out and have fun, and let someone else be the host and drive and be the person that's kind of directing the fun, what would you enjoy finding in another channel where that would make you want to keep coming back, hanging out, coming back every day, and supporting them in whatever ways you can?
Uh, Personally, okay, so I want everyone to put down in the comments as well your answer to that, and we can have a discussion about it, and we'll try to get Forrest in on it. But personally, my answer to that would be I when I'm looking for a streamer, their personality means a lot to me, but when I say their personality, it's not what most people think. I'm not as big on the flamboyant streamers or generally the bigger streamers because I mean they don't really need my support as much as others. However, I do enjoy watching some of the bigger streamers. But I think it has to do with for me more with the personal aspect of the stream. I like seeing a streamer who actually will reply to your comments and actually pays attention to what's going on. Not saying the ones who don't are bad streamers. I'm just saying that's just my personal opinion. I'm more likely to stick around and support and sub and throw bits or whatever the people that I feel like I personally like, as in I know who that person is based off of their replies to me in stream or replies to
Right.
other people in stream. You get to know them a little bit better. That's my take on it. And if anyone
Yeah.
has anything else to say to add to it, I think that would definitely be a good cause for discussion in the comments.
I think they see that a lot. I think people like to come in and feel welcomed into a group that they think is having that they see having fun
Mm-hmm.
and want to be a part of it and to be welcomed in properly, treated with respect, and to be able to do fun. And people can joke and poke fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it's as long as it's done in a way that's meant to make people smile and happy and have a good time. I think that's what a lot of people want to see. Now, people's
Yeah.
definition of what a good time and what fun is going to change from person to person. But I
Mm-hmm.
think in general, that's probably a very common uh, outlook, is that they're just looking for a place where they can be a part of the fun in whatever
Mm-hmm.
way they enjoy being it. Like being a viewer or chatting and being social and getting to know the people or talking like you were saying to in chat and getting recognized by the streamer. If someone's being social and you're feeling ignored, it's not a good feeling for anybody, I don't think.
Yeah. And
So,
actually, I think the community has a lot to do with it too. Like, if you get along
yes.
with the community, you're more likely to stick around. So, like, goes back to the advice, I guess. Some of the best advice is to build a solid community that are people that you would enjoy hanging out with. Like that's the real thing. I think the beauty of streaming is the instant feedback and the camaraderie that you make. Just to sum up basically everything we talked about, the camaraderie you're making, I think makes a lot of that. So a streamer's community is going to say more about who that person is as a stream or as a person than anything
Yeah.
else could. Like their replies to you might not show you who they are, but if you look at their community, chances are their community is pretty like-minded.
Yeah, what kind of people are they attracting and that keep
Mm-hmm.
coming back day after day, I think is a good indication of what kind of streamer they are. Now, you might catch someone early on that hasn't had the chance to
Yeah.
develop the number of people, but I think you can get at least a feel for it. And especially as they continue to grow, to see how the people treat each other in that community, in that channel. Are they supportive? Is it competitive, or is it cooperative? Is it there's all kinds of different communities and the way they treat each other. I tend to like the cooperative and supportive kind. I want people to go in and be considerate and respectful to each other. And again, poking fun is a different
That
thing,
that
as
that's all
long as
part of
it's
the
meant
respect
for
though.
enjoyment. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like yeah, I love picking on friends. Like I'll pick on them
Yeah.
all the time. But that's how you know I really consider you a friend if I pick on you.
Right, and that's something we hear from when we're very young. Yeah, he wouldn't be joking with you if he didn't like you, or she wouldn't be joking with you if she didn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it. As long as things are done with the intent to make someone smile or happy or have a good time, yeah, yeah, poking good fun. In fact, I make it a point to give people in the community ample opportunities to poke fun at me, to troll me a little bit, to challenge me, to make me go, "Why would you do that?" With a
Uh-huh.
smile, though, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So for anyone not aware of Forrest's stream, he has the ability in 7 Days to Die, through clever scripting, by the way, for his viewers to actually spawn enemies and do things against him in the game to make his life harder, but they can also make it easier. So it's a mix between people spawning things to help him and spawning things to hurt him. And I think that really adds to the charm of your stream. Like I went in there the other day and you had like 50 zombies running around trying to kill you. And you're just sitting here just running around fighting off these zombies and everything, and people still spawning more and more in. I really do think that that makes a really solid community and it gets everyone involved with everyone. And it's just stuff like that I think is amazing to see.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to try to find ways to take someone who's interested in watching, who's already interested in chatting, and give them more ways to become engaged in the content. And whether that is, again, it could just be chatting. It could be doing things that play a sound clip in the stream to add their own kind of their own opinion or feeling on the situation. Oh, that's a giggity or
Mm-hmm.
phrasing, or play some meme or clip, and then to take it another step further and see how can we get people that want to be more involved, but have it be fun for the people that are just wanting to watch. Have it be something they would like to watch. This other person doing
Mm-hmm.
this and getting involved, who in most situations wouldn't be able to get involved. They'd be able to talk and chat, but that
Yeah.
would be about it. But to allow people that don't have the game, that are just watching on Twitch, to be able to do certain things and actually affect what's going on in the stream, to actually challenge people or help or hurt, they can be a part of it then.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who might not have otherwise been able to be a part of it, someone on a mobile device who can't play any of the games. And to me, uh, that's something that I always want to try to find new ways to do that and
Mm-hmm.
better ways to do that. And I would like to see game developers doing it more. A
Yeah.
lot of people will do that. They'll call it Twitch integration, and it'll be such a limited amount
Mm-hmm.
of capability that it's almost laughable to call it chat integration or Twitch integration. I'd like to see games have the option, leave it up to the streamer or the community to decide how much they want to allow their communities to get involved in stuff, but to open it up. It's like the stream animals that Fubar Prime is
I
doing,
love stream
that is
animals.
completely driven by chat.
Mm-hmm.
And the streamer doesn't do anything any differently. If he wants to play, he's doing the same thing the chat is. And the
Mm-hmm.
idea of having something that's driven, a game that's driven by the community, is really fun. And I think just as a concept, that can then be applied to so many other games and situations and uh, fun activities. And I really want to see more of that.
Oh yeah, I can totally agree. That adds so much to the level of the stream, like the interactivity you can have, and the fact that Joe Blow username Twitch Rocks 1922 or whatever can come into your stream for the first time and actually feel like they have a part in how the stream goes. And
Right.
it's more of a tailored experience to the viewer. I really do think that that adds to the entertainment factor of the stream, and it makes it better for you as a streamer too, because you get to know what type of personality your viewers have. And really, when it boils down to it, at the end of the day, it's all about building relationships.
Yes. Well, that and if that type of thing is done well, the people that just want to watch should enjoy it just as much. Seeing someone else do this stuff and
Mm-hmm.
laughing and getting exciting uh, and so I think as a experience from a pure viewer, I think that integrate watching someone else from the audience basically get involved with what's happening up on stage
Yep.
is exciting and fun. That's why so many different types of shows do that. And I think this is kind of a kind of related form of that, of allowing the people that would normally just be watching to be able to become a part of what's going on. And then
Yeah.
even if you're not being that a part of it, watching someone else do it is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and if it's done right, and that's what I
Yeah.
want to see more of. I've seen so many people games that will try to do Twitch interaction, and it becomes more of a way for them to pop up ads to sell their game or to advertise certain things, as opposed to as a way to get people involved in an experience that otherwise wouldn't be able to get very involved at all. And
Yeah.
I think that in itself would be a good promotion for a game, more than trying to sell it through a pop-up on uh, someone's stream and calling that integration.
Yeah, the interaction, honestly, I think is the wave of the future when it comes to. Let's face it, streaming's not really going anywhere. Like if it's Twitch
No.
or if it's Mixer or if it's anyone, streaming's gonna be a thing, and it's gonna be. It's becoming considered to be a valid career by a lot of the mainstream media now. So
Yes.
looking at that, I think honestly, Twitch integration and just streaming platform integration in general, like chat integration, letting those people actually affect the outcome. That's the beauty of Twitch in general, like the fact, or just in streams in general, that you can talk to your streamer and you can get instant feedback. You can ask them a question and get an answer, or you can say something to them and have them react to it. You can drop bits and have them react or whatever. So
Well, how
honestly, why not put that in the games? Have the games react.
it, exactly. Anytime there's been a form of media that people use for entertainment, there's always you can almost always. I want to put the word almost in there. I don't like using always.
Mm-hmm.
Always, um, but you can almost always find somewhere where there was a big attempt to make it more interactive for people, whether it was
Yeah.
reading a book. And now you've got your choose your own destiny book where you can affect the
Mm-hmm.
outcome of a book. And then when simple games came out, there was always some way to allow whoever was enjoying the experience, or the movies like Bandersnatch, where you
Yeah.
can actually
Choose your
choose
route.
what's going
Yeah.
to happen, choose your route through the movie. It's like every time there's a medium that someone enjoyed, there's always this experiment to try to find a way to take a viewer viewer or a participant and get them more involved. And I think
Mhm.
as technology progresses, as people from all over the world are connected together better, the capability of being able to deliver that experience that has kind of been tried and kind of only half-heartedly succeeded over the years, I think it's now at a point to where that can actually be done effectively.
Mhm.
And I get excited thinking about all the wonderful things we're going to do. And I think streaming live, people that can interact with something that's happening now versus a recording. And watching a recording is always going to be something that a lot of people are going to do. I'm going, but probably always going to do it. Now, again, I be careful saying always, but I can't imagine myself not watching recorded content, TV shows, movies on or videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But this live aspect uh, creates this connection between the viewer and the experience that you just don't get with anything that's recorded. And I just can't see that that's not going to keep growing in other ways and expanding into other activities. I mean, now that people have cooking shows, who thought
Mhm.
people were going to live stream eating dinner and
Yeah.
have people come and watch it?
And thousands of
Uh,
people at the same time. I mean, that's
exactly.
yeah, it's amazing. You could pretty much do anything on Twitch, and as long as you make it interactive, people are gonna eat it up.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I love that actually.
And then if
Um,
someone can find a way to take that interaction and make it something new and exciting
mhm.
and fun, then I think that's where you're going to see lots of people rushing in to be a part of something and having the time of their life.
Yeah, innovation's gonna be the key in this situation. Like, honestly, if you're looking to be a big streamer, my advice to you is look for a way to innovate. Because if you can innovate, then that's really what drives everything. You could be the next big guy if you figure it out. Something totally awesome to do on stream no one else has done before.
Agree wholeheartedly. All right, man. My wife needs to talk to me.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions to go
Uh,
through, or do you think we can use use what you
we
got?
absolutely have everything we need. Thank you. I do appreciate you coming
All right,
around.
man. It's been fun, man.
All right.
You have a blast. I'm going to try to talk to my wife and calm down and get to sleep so I can get a good start
All
tomorrow.
right. And tell her I'm sorry for keeping you all night.
All right. He said he's sorry for keeping me. All right. You have a good night, nobody.
All right. You too.
Later, man.